I'm Tahu Rhodes, Principal Artist with Opera Australia, here to perform another season of Don Giovanni, which I'm very much looking forward to. Don Giovanni is one of the most famous operas written by Mozart. It's about the famous Don Juan, his fall to madness and ultimately his final death, but it's with some twists and turns and humour on the way. So it's a wonderful mix of darkness and light. It's definitely appealing in the sense that, first and foremost, is the music. It's one of the Mozart trilogy of operas, Magic Flute, Marriage of Figaro, and Don Giovanni. And the music is heard right throughout our society still, even if we aren't followers of opera. It's music we hear, played in all walks of life. The way I get into character varies from role to role. On a day of performance, it's it depends on the size of the role, the intensity of the role, I guess. If it's something like Don Giovanni, requires my whole attention. Not to say that the smaller ones don't, but this one in particular requires an intensity which, from the very second you walk on that stage, you have to be there. You have to be in that moment. And I'm not saying that's not the same with every role, but there's a responsibility on you to carry this character through the performance. So, for something like Don G, I'm actually I don't want to say I'm aggressive, but I get quite hyped up backstage just before I come on. I'm ready to hit a punching bag or something. Not in sense of not in violent aggression, but just in it sort of gets your body going. And so by the time you get out there, you're warm. You've already started the character before you jump on stage, and that's really important because when I'm waiting to come down into my first entrance, I'm already there, and I try to be anyway. And that kind of gets rid of the nerves, gets rid of the anticipation, and then just gets the adrenaline flowing. It's interesting coming back to the role of the Don because the last time I played it, I was thinking it's probably 4 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And I'm 5 years older. And it's amazing, actually, my perspective on how I want to play him has changed, I think. Vocally, I'm different. So there are things I had to worry about previously, which I feel a lot more comfortable about now because just with age, it seems to mature you somewhat. But I'm an older man, I'm an older body, so I'm going to play him, hopefully, maybe his middle-aged demise into tragedy, in his case anyway, will be more apparent. So I have to make some conscious decisions on where I'm going to take him. What's great about a year in Opera Australia, I mean, this is the company I really started out with. I've got my big break, and I've been fortunate enough to become part of the family of Opera Australia, which is a wonderful part of the life here. And there are colleagues that I'm performing with here this time around whom I've performed with in many other operas. And Conal Code, Leporello, who's playing Leporello, he was the first man that sat next to me in my very first production here at my very first music hall at Opera Australia. So it's it's a great family, it's great colleagues, and there's a real sincerity to the work. So I could go on about who I'm performing with, but that's what it is. It's being part of the team that makes the production work, and no one is more important than the other person that's standing next to you. The thing about Don Giovanni, it's just such an endearing opera. I mean, I very rarely have come across anyone that doesn't come to the opera and see the Don and not had a great night out. It's great music, great entertainment, and this is a fabulous production. So the last scene of this production is one of the highlights of Opera Australia's onstage productions. It really is an exciting piece of theatre. So yeah, it's worth coming along to see that.